Do we have any videos? Fern? Why Putin is so hard to kill? Alright, let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
Vladimir Putin has a lot of enemies. So how does he protect himself?
Let's see.
In this video, we'll look at 4 of the Kremlin's security measures. A rolling fortress.
Is this AI?
Security measures.
No, it's just like... Our animations are made by humans. It's like CGI.
A rolling fortress. Orchestrated chaos in the skies. A ghost train.
They mainly in the skies. They like... Because Russia is big, they like set up where they go. If you go to like the US, they go to like Siberia. They can set up a bunch of routes which countries they cross, and that's how they like don't enter a unfriendly, quote unquote unfriendly country.
Bond movie and sophisticated deception tactics. Together, they tell a story about the Russian state and its increasingly paranoid leader.
Guy doesn't look like him.
Since 2000, Vladimir Putin has spent most of his time here in Nova Ogaryova. But the Russian president also often stays at this luxury residence in Valdai. And he's believed to own this opulent estate in Crimea, a summer residence in Sochi, and a palace at KP Dokopas.
Yeah, that's cool.
To move between these locations or attend
5
state
houses.
visits, Putin needs to travel. And that's when he's most vulnerable. He's protected around the clock by both visible and covert security forces. But the Kremlin relies on one thing above all: unpredictability.
Yeah, they sent a bunch of cars, planes, and they don't know which one he's in.
The interior is fitted with luxury features: genuine leather, plush seating, and a minibar. But more importantly, it's a fortress on wheels. Imagine this.
Yeah, bulletproof, grenade-proof, dogshit-proof.
Suddenly,
I guess it's like, if there's someone throws like a smoke grenade, it like, I don't know, the air doesn't come into the car.
a group of attackers opens fire. But the limo is heavily armored, designed to withstand high-caliber rounds and reportedly even armor-piercing ammunition. Their bullets have no effect, so the attackers throw a hand grenade.
Maybe it just knocks the car a bit,
Even
yeah.
then, the limo stays intact and barrels forward as if nothing happened. The fuel tank is fortified against explosions. The tires are fire-resistant and reinforced. Even if all 4 were destroyed, the car could keep on driving. The limo is incredibly heavy.
Yeah, and I bet the driver is like
but it's
the most
surprisingly
trained
fast.
person.
It's powered by a 4.4-liter V8 twin-turbo engine supported by a hybrid powertrain. In an emergency, it can accelerate to 100 kilometers an hour in 12 seconds and reach top speeds of up to 170. The cabin has its own air filtration system, so even a gas attack probably wouldn't have an effect. There's an emergency exit, too. Putin's limo is extremely secure, but for longer distances, he prefers another means of transport.
Submarine.
Putin is flying to North Korea for a state visit. He's on board an Ilyushin IL-96.
And usually if they like fly, they are like in the... He flies to the US or from the US back to Russia. Until he doesn't leave the US airspace, he's followed by a bunch of like jet fighters, US jet fighters. But if something happens to him in that airspace, they are the one to blame. So he's just gonna get followed by other countries' fighters.
The model was developed in the Soviet Union back in the 1980s. Technically, it's considered
I bet
outdated.
it's gonna show it.
The long-haul jet still has 4 engines. But Putin continues to rely on it. His customized version is known as the Flying Kremlin, and it's equipped for maximum comfort. The presidential jet is stocked with a king-size bed, a conference room, a dining area, and a personalized gym. Even at 10,000 meters, security remains the top priority. The Flying Kremlin reportedly has its own advanced communications array, missile defense system, and emergency escape pod. When necessary, it's escorted by fighter jets. The Flying Kremlin is said to be just one of 4 identical presidential planes. Whenever Putin flies abroad on official business, the 3 clone aircraft
See?
also take off.
I told you, he has multiple ships and no one knows which one he's in.
They all follow
Only like 5 people knows it, which one he's in.
different routes, making it difficult to track Putin's exact movements. But even this elaborate tactic has a weakness.
It's relatively easy to track an airplane, right?
This is Russian investigative journalist Ilya
Ilya.
Rozhdestvensky.
Nice
Living in
Ilya.
exile, he works with the Dossier Center, a non-profit
Nice
investigative
Maxim.
project.
There are dozens of websites like Flight Radar and all these sort of things that provide data on different airplanes.
Technically, each of these aircraft could be tracked and located, which means that in theory, a powerful adversary could target all 4 at once. Which is exactly why Putin prefers
That's a big problem.
his train. If you saw this train moving through Russia, you'd barely notice it.
It looks like a normal Russian train, gray with red stripes. There is probably very little chance that you would recognize it if you see it somewhere.
Yeah, if there is like
Closer,
dozens
you
of
notice a
the
few oddities,
same
like
trains.
multiple diesel locomotives at the front of the train, and this small dome on the roof.
For the special communications, and that's probably it. That's the only thing that is different from the normal train.
It isn't a secret that Putin has his own special train. The Kremlin has even
He
released
likes
images
trains.
from its onboard conference room. But for a long time, no one knew what the rest of the train looked like. Until the Dossier Center released some highly confidential documents. These were allegedly leaked by an insider at Sircon Service, a Russian company specializing in manufacturing custom railway cars. The Kremlin allegedly tasked Sircon Service with building the cars for the presidential train.
Oh
It's not a very
no.
big business. There are not too many people who really want to spend their money to build a custom train.
According to the leaks, the train is heavily armored and bulletproof. That makes it so heavy that each car needs 6 axles.
They could
rather
have
than
also advertised their company. It's like, oh, we made this interior and it's this train's interior.
the standard 4.
Inside, wow, it's luxurious. It's really something incredible. This train provides Putin with anything he could possibly need. So there's a car where he can sleep, there's a car for work, there's a restaurant car.
One car is even said to house a fully equipped gym.
They didn't have to
And
stay at this gym every time.
Beauty salon soundproofed to prevent audio surveillance, complete with a massage table and a radio frequency machine designed to keep the skin firm. The Kremlin denies that Putin has ever used or owned a train car like this. Finally, there's a tiled spa area featuring a full Turkish steam bath
Let's
and
go to
shower.
the gym, buddy.
Ilya says the ghost train doesn't appear on official timetables.
There will be no way to
I mean,
track this train.
if you're like just at this train station waiting for a train, you just see this train and it just flies by.
If you
You're like,
work
oh,
with a Russian railway company,
That's a train. You don't even notice
can
it.
still find some data about this train, but you need some special access to the internal infrastructure. So there is no way for normal
And I guess they
people
can even close down the rail track for like 1 hour.
to understand that some special
But it's just
trains
completely
will
empty
be
for this one
It
train.
simply speeds toward its destination, blowing right past any stations along the way. Apparently, it often does so on its own secret train tracks, which terminate at private train stations built just for Putin.
There are a couple of stations that they were built specifically for Vladimir Putin. So basically, they are near his palaces, official residences, houses.
I mean, yeah, it could be just
So
just
I think there
the
are like
train
at
track is for this
least
one train
3 of
only.
them. We know about one in Turkey, where his official residence is located, Bocharo-Pruchey.
I feel like it's not that costly to make a train track.
It's probably one of his main official residence. And the third one is in Valdai. That's his main place. That's where he and his family spend most of the year.
So at any given time,
It's also useful
hard to
because
say which of his
if you like need supplies between these cities, these houses, they can just use the same train track, so it's not completely wasted. It's like they just connect all 3 together. You can move supplies, furniture, or whatever you need.
official residences Putin is at. There's another meeting scheduled for today. Lately, Putin's been holding more video calls and making more addresses from the presidential office in
Are they gonna talk about like assassination attempts and how they got rid of it?
Nova Ogaryova, especially since Russia invaded
You know,
Ukraine.
Fastico on kick
Дамы и
follow.
господа, почти 8 лет
I love
самыми
kick.
варварскими методами нелегитимные решения по так называемой заморозке российских активов.
Many of these are recorded and released to the public. For Russians, the office in the presidential residence is instantly recognizable. The room, the table, the background. But wait,
It's fake.
in footage of Putin's office,
It's a replica.
investigative journalists have noticed something peculiar. Take a look at this door handle, and then at these two. Notice how they're not the same height?
Wait. Conspiracy theory. Are they not the same? Is that like room, like wall paint? I mean, yeah, this one is lower. And here there is a bigger gap between the lock and the door handle.
The thermostat is also positioned slightly differently.
Wait.
Here it's centered, but here it's placed slightly to the left. In this one, it's slightly lower. The
I guess he has one of each in one of the houses he lives at.
wall panels behind Putin are also arranged in slightly different ways. Other details, like the vents and the TV stands, are also inconsistent. It appears
But- Like,
that
Go back.
details, like the vents and the TV stands,
how can you fuck this up that the TV stand is not the same?
are also inconsistent. It appears that Putin has had near identical replicas of his office built in his residences in Valdai and Sochi.
The idea behind this is that Vladimir Putin prefers to stay, I would say, silent, probably. So he makes it look like he's in his official residence in Nova Goriova, and he records some video and makes some statements. And there is also some part of the statement where it's said that it's all happening in Nova Goriova, for instance. In fact, he could be anywhere.
Yeah.
He really wants that only a limited amount of people knows exactly where he is.
It's safer this way and it doesn't really matter where he is. Like, I bet people don't mind.
If no one knows his real location, he's impossible to target. Still, reports suggest that since attacking Ukraine, Putin has been staying clear of his Sochi summer residence, out of concern over potential
So he's like
Ukrainian
in the
drone
top
strikes.
one.
Reports even claim he's had the villa torn down. Putin seems to be growing increasingly paranoid. Maybe that has to do with his time as a KGB agent in East Germany, his work as a spy and the collapse of the GDR,
I had a classmate
time as a KGB agent in
that looked like Putin young.
East Germany. His work as a spy and the collapse
Just
of the
the
GDR may
hairstyle.
have shaped his distrust of civil society and his fear of popular uprisings. To this day, he surrounds himself with an inner circle of former KGB associates. Or maybe he's aware of the hostility he attracts as the autocratic leader of a corrupt oligarchy waging a brutal war of aggression. Or maybe it's the idea that his political opponents are actively plotting to overthrow him. A
I don't
notion
know.
Putin's
Isn't there an election in Russia incoming in like a year?
own intelligence services often encourage. Or maybe it's that Ukrainian intelligence services operate deep behind enemy lines, and Ukrainian drones are a growing threat. Putin seems afraid. Afraid of attacks, of betrayal, and of losing control. More than ever, he seems to be isolating himself.
A lot of people would like to kill him. So there is some strong proof that probably he should
I mean, of
care
course,
about
but
the security.
During meetings, long tables keep his guests several meters away from him.
they knew the risk.
His meals are prepared by personal chefs who use only ingredients they provide themselves. Before being served, each meal is tested for poison in a portable lab. When he travels abroad, Putin's bodyguards reportedly even collect his excrement, then take it back to Russia
Oh, because yeah, you cannot collect his shit, so you cannot know what like his health is.
to prevent foreign powers from gathering intel on his health.
You can't just have this meeting with him
Poop
and
collector.
tell him everything you need and discuss with him. He's not just a regular president of a regular country, right? He prefers to micromanage everything, and he believes that one of his resources, crucial resource for his power, is that he's the only one who makes all the decisions. So that is why the people who has an access to him, they're more powerful. The people that don't have this access, they don't have any power. And he is the source of this power. That's like his secret idea.
I guess it's really, he doesn't really have like a right-hand man, like a second in charge.
Isolated is one of the key elements of his president.
According to Ukraine's former head of military intelligence, Putin has no less than 3
Like
body
he doesn't
doubles.
have like a
These men are
vice
said to have undergone
president.
plastic surgery to look just like him. Apparently, the only thing giving them away is their
Right.
height, their body language, and their earlobes. The Kremlin denies these claims.
2 years ago, we had an interview with Gleb Karakolov. He was an officer and he was working in the security service, which is called Federal Guard Service. They provide protection for Russian president. He told us in this interview that, well, actually, there is no double, like a real
Clueless.
double, but there was some kind of a cover operations. Colleagues of Karakolov, they took an airplane, they took the car, they put it someone who looked kind of like Vladimir Putin, and they made sure that everybody could see that the car goes to the plane, somebody leaves the car, goes to the airplane, and then this plane flies somewhere, for instance, to Moscow. But the real Vladimir Putin stays in Sochi and he does whatever he wants.
With or without doppelgangers, Putin operates within a system of maximum security. He travels in one of the most secure cars on the planet and moves along secret routes. He rides a ghost train and addresses the public from identical replicas of his office. And yet it seems like there's one thing all these measures just can't give him: a sense of safety.
Damn. Thank you, Fun. Thank you so much for this amazing video.